Hey everybody. Hello, hello, and welcome. I'm Gina Paige, and I'm the co-founder of AfricanAncestry.com. And I thought I'd come chat it up with y'all at lunchtime today. Welcome. Come on in. It's good to see you. Hi, Jamie. Thank you for joining, all of you. I love it. I love it. So today, hey, Sky Janae. Today, we're going to do a reveal. Tammy, yes. We have a member of the family who traced his ancestry with us. He traced his maternal line and then came back and did his paternal line. And so we're curious to find out what his paternal ancestry is. And so I'm going to bring him on. I'm excited to meet him, Alton Walden. I think I'm going to bring him on. Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it.
It's nice to see you and to meet you.
Likewise, likewise. I'm humbled and honored, Queen. Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, I was impressed. I saw I don't know, I can't remember now if it was YouTube or TikTok or something on social media. And I was like, oh my goodness, he is doing the thing and very committed to knowing where you're from in Africa.
Definitely, absolutely. Anything less would be uncivilized.
And is your brother going to join us?
He is. Okay. I think he said he's out there.
Okay, I need.
Hey, Nigel, if you're out there, send a request, bro.
Yeah, send a request, bro. So tell me this: where are you? Where are you tuning in from?
Well, I'm tuning in from Oakland, Tennessee, but I'm originally from Rochester, New York.
Oakland, Tennessee. I was just in Memphis yesterday. I don't know how close those places are.
Yeah. You know, it's definitely not New York, but hey, it's all good.
It was hot in Memphis. It was over 100 degrees in Memphis.
Yes. It's blazing here. I need to get in touch with that African side more so I can take this heat.
So what brought you to African Ancestry? How'd you come to us to trace your ancestry in the first place?
Well, that's a good question. I actually came across your business listening to our brother, peace and blessings be upon him, Chadwick Boseman. I actually heard his interview on The Breakfast Club. And so he was like, after Charlemagne the God was talking to him, he said, yeah, I took my DNA. He was like, nah, man, you took the wrong one. He said, African ancestry. And Charlemagne asked him, he said, why? He said, because they give you specifics. And I said, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want the specifics. So, because, that regional thing, as you know, Queen, it's too broad. It doesn't narrow it down to exactly who you are. Just give you a region. And we both know it's too many people there to be talking about, oh, yeah. I want to know specifically. And I knew you had the key to unlock that information.
Right.
So that's why I did it.
I love it. I love it. And Juan John is on here, and he says, or they say, I got to use gender neutral pronouns because I can't see, that he really wants to do it, but is concerned about what is done with the data afterwards. And, as you know, at African Ancestry, we're the only company in the industry that doesn't monetize our customers' DNA. So we don't sell it, we don't share it.
Yeah.
In fact, our lab destroys it. And so you and others and Juan John can rest assured that with African Ancestry, your DNA is handled with respect and integrity.
Indeed. I greatly appreciate that too. Honestly, that was one of my wife's concerns. That's why she like, nah, I don't know about that, especially when we caught wind what they was doing with it. But definitely, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Shout out to Sangu Jakam. He is an African Ancestry ambassador and family member. Okay, I didn't see I see that your brother's here, but I don't see the request. So
Hey,
what, you
Nigel,
took the
send
master
another
class?
request, bro.
Yeah, bruh, come on, bruh. What were your maternal results? What did you find out on your mother's line?
Oh man, I found out we the butt kicking Mende that was on the Amistad.
How did that make you feel?
Oh man, honestly, Queen, it lets me know why I am the way I am because I'm a warrior. I'm a retired Marine. I did 20 years in the Marine Corps.
Oh
You know,
my.
so when I found out that warrior spirit, in all honesty, and this is no lie, a lot of my friends and people that know me, they said, "Man, you're a warrior, man." Plenty of people said that, and to come to find out, that's exactly what I am. So I was like, okay, that's the reason why I'm a revolutionary like that. That's the reason why I rebel so much. So yeah.
So now, how far back can you go on your mother's line? Where do they go back to before New York?
Florida.
Okay.
Florida and Georgia.
Okay.
My great grandmother, um, Ella, she was from Georgia, and my grandmother on my father's side is from Florida.
Okay, your grandmother on your father's side. Okay, so your grandmother from your mother's side is from Georgia, and you know that the Mende and the Temini people in Sierra Leone were excellent master rice farmers. And so they were taken specifically from Sierra Leone to the rice plantations in South Carolina, the Georgia Sea Islands, because of their proficiency at rice farming. So even though we can't use any records, what do you call it? Genealogical records, census records, birth records, death records, to get your maternal line back beyond Georgia, your DNA was able to do it. So how did your family react?
They were very excited, especially my mother. My mother is really into it, and my auntie Carol Richardson, she's into it too, and she was so excited. They both were just excited, man, just happy to know exactly what we are. Because my mother been studying history, and I was so surprised to hear my mother talk like that. I was like, wow, she was breaking it down. She was watching PBS, and I'm like, okay. And she was excited, and I was happy that she's excited because it means a lot. It really does. It connects us to our culture and who and what we are. And now I know, and it just closed that book, and I'm just so grateful.
So maybe if your brother, I see that he says he can't cancel and resend the request. So maybe if you go out of Instagram and then come back in and join us, we'll be able to see, I'll be able to see your request. Because I really want your brother to be on for the
oh yeah, most definitely. That's my little brother right there.
Native Soil wants to know, do we reveal haplogroups as well? So for let me just say this. African Ancestry has two types of tests. We have a matriclan test, which Alton took some time ago, that traces your maternal line, mother to mother to mother to mother, going back 500 to 2,000 years. And so what's incredible about that test is we have DNA. Each of us has DNA in our body that we inherited from that maternal ancestor that never changed. It's the same today as it was 500 years ago, before she was brought to the Americas or the Caribbean or anywhere else in the diaspora. And so we can compare that maternal DNA to the largest database of African DNA in the world to look for matches, and then identify ancestry down to the specific present day country and ethnic group in that country. When you take that test, we do provide what's called a haplogroup. And so you do get that information. At African Ancestry, our position is that haplogroups don't give you any information about ethnicity. And that's what people who take our test are looking for. So to get the country and the group is far more informative than a haplogroup. We also have a paternal test, which Alton took, and we're getting ready to reveal the results of this afternoon. It
Yeah.
traces paternal ancestry, father to father to father to father. And so for the same period that we look at DNA that Alton inherited from his father, Alton and his brother. Is it just the two of you?
Yes, ma'am. It sure
Okay.
is. He said, could you check, please?
Okay. Look, I'm so busy talking. Thank you for the interpretation. Okay, so you guys have this. Yeah, it's not showing. I see him, but I don't see the request. Well,
That's him right there. So
welcome. Even though we can't see your face, I'm glad you're here, bro. So you guys inherited this Y chromosome from your father that is the same as his father and his father and his father, going back, again, over 500 years. You have the exact same Y chromosome as your paternal ancestor. Now, here's the thing. I was a little nervous because you're a revolutionary, you're a warrior, you on social media breaking it down, teaching us all that we need to know. And you know that when we trace the Y chromosome, 35 out of 100 men come back European, not African.
Yes,
whether
yes,
they
I
look
recall
like
you saying that.
or whether they look
Pardon?
like me.
Okay.
And so I was like, I don't know if we can do a Patriclean reveal, because what if it's not African? What will you do if it's not African?
Well, I know that I have it in my blood regardless, you know what I'm saying? Because my grandfather. So it's like, to me, it's like simple logic. You know what I'm saying? Like, my grandfather look African, my father look African, so I know I'm African, you know what I'm saying?
And all of us in the diaspora, none of us is 100% African. Because of the history of slavery in the Americas, there was mixing. There was mixing all during the slave trade and period of slavery with European men and enslaved African women. So even again, none of us is 100% African. But in your case, I don't know. I think. Are you ready for the reveal? Do you have
let's do
Where
it.
do you think? Where do you guess? Where do you think you might be from on your father's side?
Honestly, I really don't know because, when I look at the Akan, I look like them. I look at the Igbo, I look like them. I look at the Yoruba, I look like them. So I don't know. I really don't know. I'll be honest with you. I really don't know.
So we did find your paternal ancestry on the continent. So it definitely is African. We definitely found it in West Africa. We found it in central West Africa, in a country that the equator runs through. I didn't know this. I just learned this recently. The equator runs through this country. So part of the country is above the equator and part of the country is below the equator. It's a French-speaking country, so they were colonized by the French. In the past, since the 1960s, their economy has really grown because of oil revenues. So the country became very wealthy as a result of oil. So much so, I understand from talking to some folks at the embassy that they were actually importing food because the government put such a focus on oil that their agriculture began to suffer. And so they weren't producing enough food in the country to feed the people of the country. So they had to import food to feed the people. I thought that was interesting. We just think of Africa, as a place where food is crops and agriculture and farming is abundant. So I was a little shocked by that. It's bordered by Equatorial Guinea. It's also bordered by Cameroon. You share ancestry with people living in the country of Gabon today. Gabon. And
all right.
People, have you heard of Gabon? Are you familiar?
Oh, definitely. Okay. Definitely. I heard of it before.
Okay, good. You look, I have to ask because so many of us are learning about these countries for the very first time, Alton. Can you believe it?
Yes, yes, I can. I definitely can because we know what had happened to us, you know. So definitely.
Exactly. So within Gabon, there are several ethnic groups. The one that you share ancestry is tiny, 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 tiny. There are only maybe about 10,000 people left in this ethnic group, and it's only found in Gabon. So, you know, sometimes we find ancestry with ethnic groups that are in multiple countries, right? They may be like the Fulani, you know, who are in Nigeria and Senegal and Cameroon and Mali. You know, they're in many different places. But your ethnic group is the Akele people, Akele, the Akele people. And from all accounts, there are only about fewer than 10,000 of them.
Wow.
And they are farmers, they are fishermen, their communities are along a couple of rivers that I cannot pronounce and a lake that I cannot pronounce. I'm not about to be on here butchering the name of your
It's
country's
okay.
river. But
Wow. Even that European name was given to me. That's why I look like that. Like, that's what the European name means, is like farming in the land. So I'm like, what? Even that name mean that. I'm like, this is bananas.
That's what Alton means?
Yes. Like farming, like in the land. Wow.
Shut up. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's either Alton or Walton. It's one of the two. I know it's old. I know the name is English, but one of them means like farming in like in the land or something like that, or in the valley or something.
So you got some cousins on here. Okay, let me see who this is. Ali IBC, her paternal line is from Gabon too. So you got a cousin there.
All right. Hey, what's going on, cousin? How you doing?
Your brother said rare
What's
African.
good?
You guys are rare Africans on your paternal line. That's hilarious.
Ow! I feel good.
So listen, you got to go now. Well, have you traveled to Africa, Alton? Have you been to the continent?
No, actually, I haven't. I haven't. And my wife and I, we already had talked about it. Like before I even did this, we had talked about doing a trip over there. You know, because my wife actually is Mende too.
Okay,
Her grandmother was called the Gullah Queen.
You got to come on the African Ancestry family reunion. What? You have to come to us and get your citizenship. Alton and Queen, what are y'all waiting for? I mean, I know it's not just that simple, but I'm saying you know about that family reunion, right?
Yeah, I do. I know, if I'm not mistaken, it go like twice a year, like in April and December.
November. So
November.
This year we're going, I think it's November 20th to December 3rd.
Okay.
So everybody, if you don't know, once you find out where you're from, you can travel with us to your country of origin. The trip that we're talking about right now is the trip to Sierra Leone, where the country of Sierra Leone now offers citizenship to its descendants, people who can trace maternal or paternal ancestry to the Mende or the Temini or the Limba people living in Sierra Leone. So I'm expecting to see Alton and my other cousin, his queen, on one of our family reunions very soon. If not this year, then the next year. We also, Alton, I don't know if you know about this, but we've added Ghana. So we're taking an African Ancestry family reunion to Ghana in October. And we're doing something a little different. So usually you have to be part of the African Ancestry family to come on the trip. So you have to have taken a test.
I'm glad I'm fam now. So we good right there.
It's a family reunion. But for Ghana,
yeah, no doubt.
Let's say someone who's watching has taken the test. If you take the test and you're waiting for your results, we're going to do a reveal in Ghana. And so you can come with us and get your ancestry results on the continent. Can you imagine the power of that? So that's in October, and then in March 2023, we're going to Cameroon. So I'm inviting everybody to join the African Ancestry family like Alton and his family has done, and come with us to one of the countries that we're going to travel to over the next year and experience Africa and experience your birthright. And I don't know when our trip to Gabon is, Alton. We don't have one of those planned, but
It's all
that's
good.
certainly someplace that you can travel to.
Wow, I know it's definitely in the plans, no doubt. It's definitely in the plans. Now I know. So Sierra Leone and Gabon. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm excited about it, man. I feel good, especially when it's red. When it's red. And I kind of figured I was on the African side because I remember you said you didn't want to bring nobody on here, embarrass them. So I said, I know I'm African. I said, I know I'm African because she wouldn't have did that.
That was the giveaway.
She wouldn't have did that. I can't lie. I'd have been mad at you if you did that. But I was like, what? You bring me on here and tell everybody I'm white.
But we're laughing. But the thing is, even if you have a European lineage, like Dr. Kittles, my co-founder and business partner, he's your complexion. His paternal line goes back to Germany. So even when we find one of my paternal lineages goes back to Portugal. So it doesn't mean you're not Black. Doesn't mean you don't have any African ancestry. It just means that, like everybody else, there's a European person somewhere in your family tree. We can't escape it. Man. It's just who we are.
Yeah, their genes must be strong. Then that's the only thing I'm thinking, because especially me, as dark as I am, and my grandfather and my father, like, you see my brother. I don't know if you've seen the picture. My brother dark like me too. I'm like, what? How?
It happens. It happens.
I know. That's bananas right there.
So what you gonna do now that you know your paternal ancestry is from Gabon? What you gonna do next?
Well, like you said, talk about it, with I don't know. I think my nephew on here. I don't know if he's on here or not. My nephew's supposed to be on here too, but share with my family, share with my auntie, my grandmother, let her know, things this nature of what we are. And honestly, I took on the name of my mother's side because it was my mother's side that raised me. So I took on a Mende name. That's a Bokari Jamboyes. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I'm just looking into it, find out the information about it, man, and just familiarize myself with our culture,
Why do you think Alton people should take this test?
So it could connect them with the culture. It can help them to rid themselves of, the Eurocentric way of life. And it can connect them with who and what they are, and help them to be grounded and help them to have their true identity as it relates to who they are. I believe that's the reason why. That's the reason why I did it. I wanted to know specifically. I didn't want to be reaching in the dark. I respect all African tradition, but it's nothing like actually knowing your specific DNA, bloodline, cultural traditions. It just, man, I'm telling you, I'm so excited. Thank you once again. Hopefully I answer your question. I'm so excited. I just start rambling.
I love it. Listen, whatever you say is from the heart. I followed you enough to know that. And I appreciate that you shared this experience with your brother, and your nephew is on here too. I saw that he's on here. And the rest of the African Ancestry family on IG. It is something that is personal. It's something that's transformative. Cal Rochelle Love says it breaks every chain knowing who you are. And so I appreciate that you have done this, not just for you, but for your entire paternal line, your brother, your nephew. Future generations now are going to come into the world knowing who they are, and that you've done it with us here on Instagram. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and thank you.
Of course. I hope you all have a great rest of the day. Head on over to the link in our bio at AfricanAncestry.com to get more information about how you can take an African Ancestry matriclan test and or patriclan test. If you have taken the test, or if you're thinking about doing it and you want to travel with us to Africa, click on the travel link and get all the information about our upcoming trips. Until we meet again, everybody, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be whole. Alton, have a very wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye, everybody.